Welcome in everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Shadows of Rose DLC for Resident Evil Village. In this video, I'll explain some of the tricks developers used when making the DLC, Ethan's face, and everyone's favorite part, the dolls. So, part way into the DLC, we come to these dolls that only move when we're not looking at them. The way they work is tied to the camera and not the direction Rose actually faces. So sometimes it can be a bit tough to capture the dolls. We can also see that the drawings are separate textures from the walls, which was a bit surprising to me. And then I get interrupted by the dolls, and that lets us get a better look at this death animation where Rose gets pulled under the map and the screen would normally fade to black. But here, we can still see the whites of the doll's eyes. Further into the DLC, Rose gets shrunken down and we have to navigate past these dolls in a stealth section. Nothing too innovative, but because we're so small, this means a new death animation. I was actually having trouble trying to get the doll to grab, and it missed at one point, which I didn't know was possible until now. Once picked up, the doll has itself a nice rose sandwich. Well, implied sandwich. The Duke is also featured in the DLC, albeit masked and evil. For those of you wondering what was beneath the mask, it is indeed his face. Can't really get a good look at the whole thing, so we'll just have to deal with some intimate time with the Duke. Later on, Rose gets into a shouting match with Evelyn that she's woefully underprepared for. Luckily, Ethan swoops in to save the day, but his arms are disfigured, and now he's got the blankest expression on his face ever. It's almost kind of sad, because now he's got to deal with the biggest hater in all of Resident Evil. Right after that, we have this cool sequence showing Rose falling down into a deeper level while these silhouettes and voices talk about her. We take the camera to these silhouettes. We reveal that they're actually blacked out, textureless models of characters from the main game, standing in these small rooms put together from pieces of Ethan's old home. Starting off, we have Elena. Then we have Mia. Rose getting roasted by her own mother, which is even more of a reason to not like Mia. And we have Luisa. I don't blame you if you don't remember Elena and Luisa. They were only in the main game for about a second. Tucked away, we also have a silhouette of Ethan. In one of the final areas of the game, we can see the giant Megamycete in the middle, and it forms this sort of tree with the branches giving birth to these incomplete Rose copies. Zooming in shows us why they're incomplete. They look like high quality PlayStation 1 models, which is fine because we're never supposed to actually see them. But honestly, getting a close-up of these models, they're truly terrifying. I mean, just look at their fingers. In the final act of the DLC, Mother Miranda shows up to spill her evil plan to Rose, and how this was all a trap to lure Rose here. But luckily, Ethan shows up again, and we get a clean look at his face, which actually has an expression. It's almost like, for these last sequences, Capcom was going to show Ethan's face, but decided not to at the last minute, and just shifted the camera angles. Though you can tell in the actual gameplay, we were never supposed to see this.
Thanks.
Get away from my daughter! Stay away from my family! Rose, come on!
During this last part, my camera software was being a tad buggy because of the recent update to the game, so there's some flickering going on. My apologies about that. But we can make out this scene and get a quick look at a funny T-pose from Ethan.
Make friends. No one will ever call you a freak again.
But
Rose, just go!
I don't want to leave you!
I know. I love you. But I need to know you're safe. So please, just...
Ethan, you insolent pest!
I got this. Get out of here.
If you enjoyed this look at the DLC, consider subscribing and leaving a like. It really helps me out. And consider checking out this next video, recommended to you by the algorithm, which is way smarter than me. Until next time, take care.